Good morning. Welcome to our flower communion. Many of you have already brought your flowers down and placed them into these vases on the table. If you have a flower with you and you have not yet come down to place it in the vases, please come forward at this time and do so as we rise in body or spirit and sing words that are in your order of service. This song is called Bring Flowers to Our Altar. It's to the tune of the Ash Grove. And so you'll sing the lyrics that are in your order of service. Again, come forward at this time and place flowers in our altar.
Flowers to our altar. You may be seated. My name is Reverend Stephen Kendrick, and good morning. This is the last service of our regular church year, but we have an incredible summer array of services, and let me first confuse you before I advertise the wonderful things coming up. And that is because our General Assembly for Unitarian Universalists is going to be happening in Baltimore next week. There is going to be streamed a nationwide worship service. So we are inviting you, and we'll be sending you information about how you can enjoy and participate in that. And so that means we will not be meeting in this sanctuary next Sunday. And the following Sunday, June 29th, will be our Pride service, and a very important service it will be. Please, it is an opportunity for you to register today for the Labor Day retreat, and those folks are going to be out there. Also, visit the table in the social hall for information about donating an engraved brick to remember a past staff member or deceased congregant. Orders are being made today. They'll be installed in the memorial patio garden, and we will continue to take orders and hope to have a second installation this fall. This is Father's Day. Juneteenth is this week. Did anybody do anything interesting yesterday? Raise your hand if you did. Good for you. And today we begin a new tradition. It is the transfer of keys, and you will be seeing that happen right before your very eyes. And it will be a mixture of emotions, sadness, and also gratitude, because this will be Sunny's last service with us as our ministerial intern. But she will be transferring the keys to Jonathan Dean, who is here with us today, and he will be our incoming ministerial intern starting in September, but actually Jonathan will be preaching here on July 20th. So it is a day, an important day in the life of this congregation. And I invite forward Bobbi Pace to call us to worship and to get this service rolling. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bobbi Pace. My pronouns are she and her. And this is actually my last service with you as president, so I'm very thrilled to be here today. And for our call to worship, in the words of Norman Chapek, who originated the flower communion service. In the name of providence, which implants in the seed the future of the flower, and in our hearts the longing for people to live in harmony, in the name of the highest, in whom we move, and who makes the mother and father, the brother and sister, lover and loner, what they are, in the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrifice their lives to hasten the coming of the age of mutual respect. And now, in honor of De Colores, please stand, rise in body and spirit as you're able. And as we sing together De Colores, please, if you have joy to celebrate, come forward as we're singing and light a candle. And if you have a sorrow to take note of, please come forward and drop a shell or a stone in the water.
You may be seated. Sunny's 2 years here. She was accompanied by a great cloud of witnesses. We, of course, did supervision all the time. You all really helped her in so many ways. But she could not have done it without the internship committee. And I invite forward Tisa to represent the internship committee. If there are other members of the committee that wish to come forward, that's great too. But we are beginning the great ceremony of the transfer of keys. So the pulpit is yours.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are Nancy Apfel, Jim Peters, and Tisa Weger, representing Sunny's internship committee for the past 2 years. Sunny, please come forward to receive our blessing. Sunny, we are filled with gratitude for your caring, wise, joyful presence among us, and for your many thoughtful and meaningful contributions to all of us, to our congregation, to our activities. This is hard. Thank you so much. And now Tisa has something to say.
Sunny, thank you for allowing all of us at USNH to get to know you, to learn who you are, what you stand for, and to glimpse what you will become in the future of Unitarian Universalism. You are a beacon of joy and light in this hard and troubled world. This is a gift from the internship committee on behalf of the whole congregation. This chalice represents the light that you've brought to us here at USNH and that you will continue to bring to Unitarian Universalism and the world.
We're just pouring it on now. Sunny, this life is full of challenges and disappointments and unexpected losses. May you continue to find the grace and patience you have demonstrated in your ministry with us to travel through even the darkest of days. May you find another UU community as great a fit as our own was and grace them with your joyful presence. And may your path ahead be fulfilling and bring you much peace, love, and happiness.
Oh, okay, perfect. I do not want to drop this. That is my first fancy chalice, so I look forward to taking that with me and using it proudly wherever I go. USNH, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I am afraid you all have ruined me for any future congregation. I have felt such an intense sense of community, and I had not experienced that before in a religious community. So thank you for showing me that that is possible, and I know what to look for in a future congregation because y'all do things so well. Thank you for helping me grow. I have a lot more growing to do, but I would not be where I am at this moment, heading out into the ministerial wilderness, without all that you have given me and the container, the safe, supportive, and loving container to stretch my legs and to figure out the direction that I want to go. I know many of you on very personal levels, and have walked with you. You have walked with me through some tough stuff and some happy stuff and all the things. And it has been such an honor and a joy, and I really will miss each and every person sitting in these pews and those online and those who are not able to be here today. And I also want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to my internship committee.
You did a great job.
Yeah, these folks have very busy lives. Some have children and work commitments and travel and all of the things, and yet they showed up month after month to process with me, to support me, to guide me, and did an evaluation of me that I am so proud to share with the Ministerial Fellowship Committee. So thank you. And now I would like to invite up the new intern, Jonathan Dean, where we will do a peaceful transfer of power and a handing over. Jonathan, this is your USNH key.
That was so beautiful.
Jonathan was the lone UU who arrived at Yale Divinity School last fall, and I liked him immediately. We've had several classes together, including UU Polity, and I am thrilled he is going to be your next intern. He brings so much wisdom, talent, and experience in a variety of areas, so it's going to be a treat. Jonathan.
Thank you. And I thank you for your faith and trust in me as I begin my internship in this place. I will do my best to be present and open to the experiences and challenges to come. I promise not to be you. You are unique, and I cannot duplicate you and your works here. I can't. I look forward to helping people process through your goodbye. I look forward to the challenges that this church has to offer while affording room to find my own voice. Sunny, you're leaving your handprint and your heartprint on this space. That will never change. I cannot fill the space that you occupy. I would never wish to step into your unique role in the life of this community. The poet John Donahue wrote the following in his poem, For a New Beginning, which I believe is how I have come to see you in your journey and your calling. And out you stepped onto the new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of the opening. Unfurl yourself in the grace of the beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back. Go from here with the knowledge that you are whole, you are holy, you are brave, and you are loved.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you very much. So you get your hug later.
Okay, and we both went to John O'Donohue for our blessings, and of all the occasions I looked at that felt appropriate, the one that felt the most appropriate was for a traveler. O'Donohue writes, "Every time you leave home, another road takes you into a world you were never in. New strangers on other paths await. A journey can become a sacred thing. Make sure before you go to take the time to bless your going forth, to free your heart of ballast so that the compass of your soul might direct you toward the territories of spirit, where you will discover more of your hidden life and the urgencies that deserve to claim you. May you travel in an awakened way, gathered wisely into your inner ground, that you may not waste the invitations which wait along the way to transform you. USNH, we have traveled together these last 2 years, and the journey will continue when we exit these doors today. Through your invitation to me to be your intern, I have been transformed in myriad ways, and you have transformed toward becoming again a teaching congregation, one where we welcome today Jonathan Dean. So, may we, as a congregation including interns new and old, may we all be blessed in our going forth. May our hearts be freed of any heaviness, knowing that the compasses of soul are taking us toward new and meaningful discovery. May we travel in an awakened way, awakened to the peace, the joy, the love, and the purpose that is available to us even in difficult times. And may we respond to the ever-unfolding invitations that are waiting along the way to transform us all. Thank you, USNH.
We centered the sun. Let us now center the flowers. Take a moment and gaze upon these flowers that you have brought here this morning. Flowers can be very eye-catching, stunning, intricate. These flowers and so many others out there may be planted by a human hand. They may be spread by the wind, planted by bird or bat, pollinated by bee or butterfly. They're bursts of color against an often monochrome background. That's a welcome sight after long, cold winters. As we enter into a time of meditation and reflection, let us be reminded also that flowers all too often are short-lived. The essence of a tree or a plant is not its flower. Just as the essence of the community we build at USNH is not the boisterous speaker, the singular musician, the solo writer. A flower in isolation, cut and left in a glass half full, has no roots, has no hope of pollination, no aspiration of living beyond the moment of multi-hued glory that it finds itself placed within. Flower communion is not about a particular rose or carnation, though individual beauty permeates the flower communion's meaning. Flower communion is instead about brilliant, ferocious beauty that is born from the life-giving elements of the universe, is shaped in the soil, in the water, in the air, in tradition. It is a beauty that takes root around rocks and obstacles, a beauty that reaches out for sunlight and nourishes others as an essential characteristic of its existence. It is a beauty that blooms in glory, pulling attention away from its true purpose, which is to create new life, new opportunity, new generations of flowers that grow and adapt and keep our world alive. Let us enter into a time of silent reflection. May we find ourselves as flowers, as leaves, as roots, as soil and water and sun and air. Blessed be. As our ushers come down, and Bill plays the offertory this morning, The Fascinator by James Scott, I ask you to hold in your minds for a moment the many ministries of USNH and how we cannot achieve these blessed ministries without your contributions. Please see your order of service for how to contribute online or how to mail in something for the offertory. And our offertory will now be gratefully received.
Our reading today is a responsive reading, number 655 in your gray hymnal. For those who wish to participate, I will read the words in plain font, and you are welcome to respond with the words in italics. Number 655, change alone is unchanging. Whosoever wishes to know about the world must learn about it in its particular details. In searching for the truth, be ready for the unexpected. The same road goes both up and down. Not I, but the world says it. All is one. And now I welcome the USNH choir.
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be, and when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come down right. Tis the gift to be free, tis the gift to come down where we ought to be, and when we find ourselves in this place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight.
You may not know it, but I was raised in Tennessee, about 40 miles away from Dayton, where the Scopes monkey trial was held. And I thought about that growing up in my high school in Clinton, Tennessee, because I was the only person I knew of in my class who believed in evolution, and that included the biology teacher. So I've always paid close attention to that amazing moment in our country's history. And in many ways, it's still happening. In so many ways, that trial represents some of the push-pull that we're seeing every day. Nearly 100 years on. Clarence Darrow, the great lawyer from Chicago, who stood for liberality, freedom of speech, scientific inquiry, he said this before he died: "The way of the world is all very, very weird. you may be sure that the powers of reaction and despotism never sleep. And in these days, where conservatism is in the saddle, we have to be very watchful. I'd planned to do a different kind of sermon, and then I realized after the last 8 days that the original sermon I had was in fact right. But I'm going to get there in a circuitous way, because it has been a hard week. Have we ever lived in a time where a United States senator is pulled to the ground and handcuffed? Have we ever lived in a time where U.S. Marines stop an American citizen in L.A. who actually happens to be an Army reservist, and where we see political assassinations becoming regularized, normalized, and that's horrifying and tragic. So yeah, this is a brutal and dismaying time. But it is also a time of resolution, of reclamation, of courage, and if I can be frank, why we're here. This has actually been a remarkably happy and affirmative year in the life of this congregation. 2 wonderful young people just joined the congregation this morning. Attendance has never been this high. In so many ways, we have tended to each other and tried to care for each other and stood up for the values that matter. And I can't think of any reason for us to be a congregation and a community than to stand up for certain rock values that we can tend to and nurture and stoutly defend. And if that's what our time gives us, then that's what we've got. And I'm okay with that. At some level, my heart is rended with all that we confront and how frightening it is. And another level, I feel like, maybe everything I've ever experienced as a kid or as a young man becoming a Unitarian Universalist, or more than 45 years as a minister, maybe all this is simply what needed to happen to confront what is now in front of us. I want to talk about values. We are not a creedal religion. You will not hear the nature of God, or even if there is a God, from this pulpit. You will not know whether Jesus rose from the dead. You will not know whether there is a heaven or a hell, or for that matter, a limbo purgatory. We are not a creedal religion. But for anyone that doesn't understand the rock values upon which we stand, then let me just say them as loudly and clearly as I can. We may not have a creed, but we have such strong beliefs that they have sustained us for 400 years as a free religious movement of love, freedom, and dignity. These are the values upon which we stand. And let me throw in honesty and courage and self-reliance, loyalty, respect, charity, unselfishness, kindness, justice, generosity, and maybe most of all, mercy. Mercy. The philosopher Philip Halley was studying the after effects of World War II, and he grew despondent at the weight of pain that he encountered in his work and research, and he decided he was going to shift his career, and he was going to find not evil, not repression, but he was going to try to find the source of good. Goodness became the mystery that he decided in the rest of his career he would pursue. And he found a little French village, Le Capon. Then in World War II, unlike all the villages in the area of northern France that freely gave up their refugees and freely gave up their Jews, this one village saved more than 1,000 lives. And he decided that's what I want to research. That's what I want to find out. I want to know why those people were steadfast, why they understood what the moral obligations of humanity. How can we be kind and protect one another in a brutal time? And he wrote a beautiful book called Lest Innocent Blood Be Shed. And he says moral beauty happens when someone carves out a place for compassion in a largely ruthless universe. Sometimes it happens in such a way that the people who make it happen seem to unify the universe around themselves like powerful magnets. And somehow they seem to redeem us all from indifference. Somehow they carve for us a place of caring in the very middle of the quiet and loud storms of uncaring. So yeah, I want to talk about values. We are not a creedal religion, but these values matter, and they matter more than we can possibly know. And they matter as much now as they've ever mattered. And your values, as you define them and as you live them, this is not an academic exercise. The psychologist Carl Rogers said, clarifying your values is the essential first step into a richer, fuller, and more productive life. And can I add, to a sane society. Our values are what give value to our days. It is that simple. That kind of gut check, that kind of deep inquiry, that kind of confrontation of who you are and who you are willing to be. And because that's really hard, it is both an individual journey, but it's also, I would suggest, a journey that is difficult enough that we need each other along the way. When we talk about values, we're talking about the search for what makes us essential, our essential self, but essential to all the people that need us and could use our love. It takes astonishing courage to be yourself, to be true, to a deeper kind of integrity that becomes, as Halley described, kind of a deep magnet, a place that carves out a place for caring in the midst of indifference. It is an intense confrontation with your soul. Emily Dickinson said that this kind of awakening of what she called a real self, she describes it very beautifully in 2 lines. Each life converges to some center, expressed or still. Each life converges to some center, expressed or still. It is in the stillness of the silence within you that you do this deep inquiry, this confrontation, this convergence, but it's also here to be expressed, lived, to enrich and enlarge us, and to try as best we can in this very brutal time to figure out how we are going to make some difference, how we can root ourselves in the deepest values that have brought us to this place, and that we may extend to our neighbors and to a nation and to a bruised world. And these personal choices are imperatives. And so, yes, they do involve values of love and freedom and dignity, of courage and self-discipline and integrity and creativity and playfulness. About the same time that Clarence Darrow wrote his words about be watchful for the time when conservatism is in its ascendancy, about the same time, the great minister Harry Emerson Fosdick wrote words that were written nearly 100 years ago, but could have been written yesterday, and I would love to be able, in my own life, to be able to live these words tomorrow. He said, be a person. Be a real person. Stand on your own 2 feet. Do not be pushed around by passing fads. Live by an inward light. Be true to an inward loyalty. And if skepticism divides the church and vulgarity discolors social living, if the profit motive makes industry more cruel, and nationalism blockades the way to peace, do not ever say yes, yes to the situation. Have a conscience of your own, and when in the private life the clamor of public custom grows very loud, then you can be silent, quiet enough to hear the beat and to catch the rhythm of your inward drum. Why is this important? The explorer Freya Stark said, there can be no happiness if the things we believe in are different than the things that we do. So this articulation of values is not just about nobility and high words and fancy rhetoric. It's going to have to be lived in your home and on the streets of your city and in this fraught time. Values matter. Our values live together matter. And it's not about being perfect, because we'll never stop being perfectly, imperfectly human. But we can always decide we will not say yes to things that dehumanize us and dehumanize the people around us, our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters. That, in the end, is the sermon I wanted to preach about values. These are values I learned from my parents. These are values that I learned from the congregations I've been privileged to serve. These are values that I've learned from my children. These are values that I want to ground my life. Nothing at the end of this remarkable year gives me a greater sense of hope and sustenance than to know that I too am grounded with your values, the activist sense of this congregation, the things you do together and the things you do for each other, They inspire me. I say thank you. The values that we share together. And we have some thank yous to give. And Jesse, you start us off. Oh, yes, thank you. You may have noticed we didn't do the covenant today because the covenant really is a thank you. It's going to be a thank you that hopefully will include each and every one of you. We are so blessed by each of you who give your time and your care. And so we can't name every single person individually, but we're going to recognize the various groups that make up everything we do as possible. Those groups are the flowers that make the congregation blossom and grow. So we begin our litany of gratitude by adding water from past water communions, as Jesse is doing, to the vases where the flowers have been placed.
We now name the sources of nourishment for this ever-growing community. The following groups are the very earth that flowers need to grow. As I say each group's name, please rise in body or in spirit if you have been a part of that group's work this year. The Board of Trustees.
Please rise.
The management team. The Safety and Security Task Force. Buildings and Grounds Committee. Finance Committee. Endowment and Legacies, the Stewardship Committee, and everyone who participates in stewardship. We honor you, O earth and soil. We also speak now and stay risen, those of you who have already risen. We speak now the groups within USNH that form our roots, holding us firm, connecting us to our past, doing the unseen work that keeps us strong. Please rise in body or spirit if you are connected to the Archives and Library Committee, the Nominating Committee, the Personnel Committee, who welcomed new people this very morning. We recognize all who organized fundraisers or special collections this year. Please rise at this time.
And representing the stems and leaves of our collective flower garden, please rise if you help provide pastoral care, are part of our staff, or on the Sunday morning team, and for all those who helped our faith and values blossom into the world we present to the world and each other every week. Please rise if you are on the worship committee, the music committee, if you sing in the choir or folk group, anyone who's helped in a worship service as a planner, a speaker, greeter, live stream tech support, usher, musical guest, please stand and be counted.
We continue to rise with those who help bring the message of love, care, and justice to each other and within and beyond this beloved community. Please rise and be honored, members of the Connections team, the Internship and Ordination committees, Social Justice Council members, and this is a very big and super important group, everyone who has participated in the essential work of You the Vote, Connect, Waverly, the LGBTQ welcoming group, the Kids Service Team, and all the other social justice task forces and groups. You, my friends, are the pollinators of the flowers. Lastly, we fill the air with seeds, the messengers of growth, transformation, and continued vibrance. So rise, children, youth, and adult religious education committee members. Rise, religious education teachers, facilitators, other volunteers, and of course, Rise children, youth, and adults who, the children and youth are all painting downstairs, so hopefully they'll hear this and Rise. Anyone who attended an adult religious education class, a book discussion, an event. Rise also small group ministry facilitators and participants.
And if you're still sitting, you are the seeds of the future, my friends. And so I ask you to rise. And as you look around at these beautiful faces, the people that nourish and support and grow this place of beauty, know that you are thanked, you are loved, and you are part of this beloved we. And I'd like to invite forward Bobbi Pace one more time. Sue, if you'd like to come forward. And I believe, Sunny, you have something as well. Bobbi has served for 2 years as your leader, as the person who helps give vision to this remarkable place. This is the second time you served.
30 years ago.
The minister used to come down the stairs and work in your basement. So obviously all ministers here owe a great debt of gratitude to Bobbi. We all owe a great debt of gratitude to you because in your calm, judicious, visionary sweetness, you have led us so beautifully. You have given me a lot of hope and peace in my heart. And we want to thank you for your years of service with a flower, because it's flower communion. So Sue will be replacing, and how many years will we get you to serve, I wonder?
At least one.
At least one. And when I spoke to you a little bit, you said you'd like a book. So we got the new biography of Margaret Fuller, the great Unitarian Universalist leader. And that's going to keep you busy all summer. Sue, did you wish to say something?
Okay. Can I say?
Yes, please.
I would just like to have you, and especially me, give great gratitude to my parents who gifted this congregation to me. And 70 or so years ago, my dad was the first president of this congregation. My mother was the first secretary. And then 40 years after that, I became president again, and now am turning this over to Sue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it really is with the deepest gratitude that I thank you. I don't know if that I thank you for your work on the board. When I saw this flower, the first thing I noticed, the roots, maybe that was the second thing, because maybe I noticed the beautiful pop of color on top first. But all the talk of roots today, and you mentioned the roots that you have in this community, and the roots that hold it up and keep it strong and vibrant and beautiful. And you've really led the board with intentionality, and you've created community there. And being a member of the board has been very rewarding these last few years, and you're going to be a hard act to follow. And really, thank you so much.
As we conclude this, you may be seated. We're going to be singing, but we can also sing seated as well. 1010 in your teal hymnal, "Oh, we give thanks," and let us sing together. 1010. special day. Oh, we give thanks for this special day. Heavenly, so far away, all this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Friends, as Stephen extinguishes our chalice, please say with me the words that are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of unity, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And as I invite forward the choir to give us a beautiful blessing as we go forth into the summer, let me just offer a brief blessing upon these beautiful flowers and ask you to come forward and take a different flower than you came in with as you leave here today. That is part of the tradition that Bobbi Pace gave us. You are infinite spirit of life. We ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love, and they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to this great Spirit.
Thank you all.
As Bill plays our closing music, we invite the choir and all of you to come forward and to choose a flower to take home with you, and we'll see you out in the social hall where there's cake!
So